Welcome to our series on functions. The first function we're going to talk about is the sum function, which is the most popular function and most used in Microsoft Excel. Additional functions that we will have videos on are average, min, max, if, as well as count if. So let's go ahead and jump into functions. Functions can be accessed by clicking on the Formula tab, which generates the formula ribbon. And as you can see, there are numerous groups here in this ribbon, and you can click on the Insert Function button here. As you can see, the symbol for sum, which is the Greek symbol for sigma, is right here, and auto sum right there. You can also click on the FX button on your formula bar, which is right below the ribbon. And when you click on the FX button, the Insert Function dialog box appears here. You have the ability to search for any and all functions in Microsoft Excel, or you can choose from one that you've used recently. We're going to pause just for a moment and review formulas before we jump in. A formula, like we already know, is a simple mathematical statement in a cell. It always starts with an equal sign to show the characters that should be calculated, and obviously it includes operators. The value is the resulting number of the formula. We recognize this formula here that we used when we added up all of our different advertising sources. So we're going to replace the formula of B3 plus B4 plus B5 plus B6 with the sum function of B3 through B6. So this table looks a little bit like the table that we just saw with the formula, but we're talking in terms of functions. So a function is a preset formula with a set of arguments. Two most popular functions are sum and average. It has an argument, just like a formula does, and the argument, once again, is located in the parentheses. So our argument for the sum function is B3 through B6. So let's dissect this function. Always starts with an equal sign. We have the name of the function. We have the argument located in parentheses. We have where the range that we want to sum starts and where it's going to stop. The keyboard shortcut for function is Alt and the equal sign. So let's go ahead and pull up our marketing budget that we've used in previous sessions and in videos, and let's make B7 our active cell. And there's that formula that we were just talking about, B3 plus B4 plus B5 plus B6, right? And now we're going to replace it with the sum function. So I'm going to clear the contents of that cell by hitting the delete key. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to hit the Insert Function button. I'm going to type in the word sum. I'm going to hit go. It pulls it up. There's sum. We are now presented with our function argument. What is the range of the cells that we would like to have included? We would like to have B3 through B6, and Excel already says that for us. What's great here when you're using the function argument or the function dialog box, it gives you a preview of what the formula result is, which is 1500. And we know that that's correct. So now the value in cell B7 is exactly what it was before. However, the cell B7 no longer contains a formula. It now contains the function sum with the argument of B3 through B6. We're going to now move over and make N3 our active cell. And we are going to add up, using the sum function, how much we have spent on AdWords for the entire year. But this time we're going to do it a little bit different. There are multiple ways to do the sum function in Microsoft Excel. So we're going to come up here. We are on our Home tab, which generates our Home ribbon, the last grouping, which is Editing, and there's the Auto Sum button there. It starts with the Greek symbol of sigma, which means sum. So we're going to just click it once. And Excel is brilliant because it says there is a range of cells to the left that I think you would like for us to include. And that indeed is correct. We would like the range to start at B3 and go all the way over to M3. So now all we have to do is hit the enter key and our sum is there. Now in cell N4, we're going to use the keyboard shortcut for the sum function that I showed you on those slides. So we're going to hold down the Alt key and hit the equal sign. Same exact thing happens here that it did in cell N3. Excel sees a range of cells that goes from B4 all the way to M4. And once again, we want to accept that by hitting the enter key. And there's the sum of how much we're going to spend for For Rent magazine and website. Now, another way, the third way that you can do the sum function is to actually type it in. And I'm actually going to put in 2 M's. And so you can see what error you might encounter if you type it in. So I'm doing equals SUMM parentheses B5 colon M5 close parentheses, and I'm going to hit enter. And I get an error. And that function error is pound name question mark. So that's Microsoft Excel's way of communicating to you, saying, I don't understand the name of a function, therefore I can't give you a number. So if we look a little bit closer, we see that I did put in 2 M's, and I'm going to edit that by taking my mouse and clicking on the function, the formula bar within the function sum, and I'm going to hit the delete key, and I'm going to hit enter, and now it accepts. So your homework assignment from this video is to use whichever way of the sum function you would like to calculate the total for direct mail, resident referral, locator, and promotional total. Thank you, and the next series of videos we will go over the average function.